I'm Spencer.
I'm Eric.
It's your boy JD.
Welcome to the Itch Podcast, where we each bring a topic for 15 minutes. My topic is, what is your favorite character that you've never used?
Mine is, what are your thoughts on linear video gaming?
And mine is, what is one gameplay feature that has not been in recent gaming that you miss?
Ooh. All right.
Justin, what are you playing?
Justin.
Well, thanks, Spencer. Eric, can you sit this one out? Anyway,
I'm gonna go work on the sound.
Hey, Justin, be loud and black. Anyway.
Oh God.
We're off to a great start. So, now that we got all the racial undertones out of the way, what have I been playing? So I got back into
His words.
I played like 5 seconds of Dungeon Siege, and I was like, fuck. So I went back, and I was like, you know what I really want to play? The Old Republic, Knights of them specifically. So I went back, I've been playing through Knights of the Old Republic. I've been doing a sort of gray Jedi kind of route. That essentially the liberal route of Jedis. And I'd be like, do whatever you want, man. Like, it's up to you. Hey, you're guilty, but I'm not going to be the one that says it. You know, I'm on Manon right now.
Gotcha.
You know, doing the court thing. And I'm like, he's guilty, but...
When I went the dark side, I got kicked off of that island.
I know.
Island?
Well, it's pretty much an island.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool planet, though. But I've been playing that, and I've been doing a little bit more, or putting some time into Rocket League with the homeboys. You know what I'm saying? We got it in on stream.
We got it in.
I feel so bad because I wasn't able to get on there.
Dude, it's fun.
Editing.
It was a lot of fun. And we also played a little bit of Lara Croft, but I could sense Spencer wasn't interested. So
It's a little sloppy.
Yeah,
it's a drunk.
I honestly told you guys I'd download it, and I didn't.
Weird.
I saw the gameplay of it, and I was like, please no.
I'm judging you. Anyway, Eric, what are you playing?
I've put in some time into some World of Warcraft again this week. Mainly just garrison stuff, and the pet experience bonus hit this weekend, the double experience weekend for pet battles, which I've never done before, and I figured if anytime I'm ever going to do it, it's going to be now when it's double experience, so I can spend half the time necessary. And then I played
gameplay feature.
And then I played Tomb Raider 1. It was on 10 cents for Google Play. I picked that up and ran around the mansion trying to kill Lara Croft.
Oh god,
trying to find different ways to do it.
And just make her dive off the second story. She's dead.
Yeah, I was trying, but the one thing I will say though, the game, everyone's always talking about how on your phone it's hard to control the character. I will say Tomb Raider 1 from PlayStation to Tomb Raider 1 on your phone, it's the same controls. Like, it feels just exactly the same. It feels just as clunky.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And another game I picked up yesterday actually was Final Fantasy VI for the phone as well. I'm trying to put some time into see what the market's like on phone games. And the funny thing is I'm buying games that are for older systems that they ported over. But Brain Dots as well. I got a couple more levels into that when I went to go show somebody. And that's about it for me for gaming this week. What about you, Spencer?
Interesting. I am retouching Final Fantasy IX, which I will also immediately put on hold and play Final Fantasy VI, just so we can talk about it together.
Oh.
Yep. So, what else have I been playing? I'm playing a little bit of...
Well, Eric's twerking.
A little bit of Professor Layton, but
Wait, the mesh between that and Phoenix Wright? Or just
just a regular one. I want to get to that, but I want to understand Professor Layton before I jump in.
Makes sense.
So I'm going to do that. And then a little bit of Rocket League with a friend, with an acquaintance.
Some asshole on the internet.
He's just slowly going down the list.
He's a shitbag.
Yeah.
You're just testing out each word.
He's just
How does this word feel? How does this word
I was
feel?
listening
He should
to
have
him.
been swallowed.
Yeah.
that could be a good thing.
Anyway. So yeah, that's about it. Mostly just Final Fantasy IX, but I'm switching over to 6.
Cool stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Ready to get started?
Justin.
All right.
Let's start with yours.
Because I always go first. Because the viewers show up later and they love your topics.
Fine.
I'm kidding. I'm
Spencer.
kidding.
Studies
No,
show
I'm
that
joking.
the viewers
Spencer.
show up earlier.
Spencer, go ahead.
Shut up.
Spencer, go ahead.
I got it.
He's got it.
Anyway.
Besides, I want to wait till the viewers get here.
So anyway, my topic, as stated before, is essentially what is one gameplay feature that you missed that isn't really here in current gen gaming. And to be perfectly honest with you, there's a concept about bragging rights. Okay, bragging rights. Like back in the day, you guys remember playing an arcade game, whatever.
Mhm.
You were the dude that beat blank game. You were the beast.
Yep.
You're the guy that conquered it, and it was a hard game, right? Nowadays, what do we have? What's the hardest game that you could think of nowadays?
Dark Souls.
It could be Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Maybe that Mega Man one will be hard. I don't know.
Homefront. Ugh.
Homefront. Really?
Homefront for the 360. I just saw the Homefront Revolution.
Yeah, that one's coming out. Yeah.
On Gamescom.
Yeah.
I remember, I don't swear all that often. And my mom actually, when I was back living with my mom, she came into the room and she's like, will you stop playing this game and swearing, or will you stop swearing so much? And I'm like, it's this game. And she's like, well, then stop playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
It was the gameplay that was difficult. It wasn't the actual, it was how they structured the game that made it so difficult.
Okay. Yeah.
Hiding behind a rock, you poke your head out a little bit, and the guy with an AK-47 can snipe you? No!
Yeah, that's a little rough. What I miss is kind of the era we were talking about a lot. That's the era of speedruns. So where if you die, you have to restart.
Mm-hmm.
And learning a level's layout, learning enemy placement was important then. That's what I miss a lot of, because a lot of that stuff you really learn to appreciate it by getting beat over the head with it. Why do you think people like Castlevania so much? For its level design and character placement? Because you had to experience it so many times. You died 6 or 7 times and you're like, shit, restarting. Whatever. And it was also one of those games, a lot of games back in the day, were those games that you'd play, you would die and you'd be like, I'm done. I'll come back to this later. And it adds more length to the game overall. So, yeah, it was artificial longevity.
Yeah.
But still, I liked it. I thought it was nice.
I can't agree. I cannot agree with memorizing my game rather than my skill being a bigger factor in the game.
I like my games hard, man.
Spencer, what do you miss?
I've talked about this a lot, but in-game tutorials need to be quiet. I need to be in-game.
Hey,
Shut your
the
mouth.
fuck up.
They need to not be just telling me to do stuff. It needs to be integrated into the actual experience.
Yeah.
Metroid does it well. Mario does it pretty well. Sonic, I guess, because you have to go fast to go around the loops. It never says go fast to go around the loops, right?
No, it never tells
So
you.
you just got to know, I got to go really fast to go over it. And it's like,
Doesn't even-
that makes
It doesn't
sense.
even tell you how to spin dash, I don't think.
No, it
That's
doesn't tell
important.
you anything.
So things like
It just
that.
drops you into the world and you get to play.
I miss things like that, the mystery and the kind of, I figured it out, as opposed to
Yeah.
games nowadays just having a big box that says.
You know what game actually had that recently that I thought was pretty cool was Destiny. Destiny didn't tell you crap when it first came out. There was nothing in that. There was a very few things that it would explain, but you didn't know what light did for your character. You figured it out once you equipped stuff. You didn't know how what reputation did. You didn't know Vault of Glass. They didn't tell you how to open up the Vault of Glass. You had to figure it out. There's a bunch of things in Destiny. I think I remember being frustrated. I was like, man, this game makes me want instruction manuals back.
Oh, really?
So I have to say that Destiny did that. But other than that one example, I agree. That tutorial thing is a pain. For me, the thing that I miss the most is local co-op. I miss being able to sit on the couch and play video games with my friends and
With the
stuff.
homies.
Yeah, and the online thing, it takes away from it. I think it really does take away. I mean, it's a nice... I want to be able to do both, basically.
Yeah.
Because if I have other friends in other states, I want to be able to play with them online. But if they come over to my house because they're visiting, I don't want him to have to bring his own TV, his own Xbox, his own PlayStation, set it up, and we have to sit there side by side playing 2 systems. No.
Yeah.
Just let me do split screen. I know it's not ideal and people don't like split screen, but there are times and reasons for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's...
Well, Halo 5 cannot run at 1080p with split screen. It's just impossible.
Well, yeah. When it comes to a
What is this,
performance thing,
2015?
if that's what you want to do, fine. But there's no excuse why a lot of indie games, especially nowadays, can't have some sort of online or local.
Yeah,
not just one.
It's one of the successful things that I have to say Nintendo has done consistently is that they've always made local co-op. They've always done that.
Well, they're all about the party games.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah,
about family
exactly.
and party games.
But I mean, that's why when I have like a party over my house or something like that, or when I'm going to a party, typically Nintendo is what we're playing. Because, well, one, it hits everybody there. Like, no one can't play Nintendo.
And the girls can play. You get them drunk, and you can feed them alcohol, and you can say, play that Mario Kart till it kicks in.
Bill Cosby
And then you can
is
show-
a little too relevant to this.
Then you can show them the Wii remotes and be like, hey.
The business, boom. Okay,
No,
we're,
yeah.
we're not making jokes. About
I think we
Regardless.
just kind of did. Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah, local co-op.
Are you
I
Thank you. Are you done? All right. So anyway, one other like feature that I actually really liked and kind of like missed, and this is more generated to fighting games, was unlocking characters.
Mm-hmm.
So like when you beat,
Isn't the new Street Fighter doing that?
they are, and thank God for them. Guilty Gear was kind of the last game that I remember that was doing it. I mean, but Mortal Kombat 10 did it, but with like I think one character. They did it with Shinnok. You beat the story mode. Oh, you could play Shinnok. It was bullshit. Guilty Gear was like they have their own in-game currency. So okay, you play online, you get this currency. You do other game modes, you get this currency, and you can build it up, and you can buy the character. You can also buy different themes and stuff like that. But hardcore just beating a game and figuring out how do I unlock this motherfucking character. That was cool to me because I don't know if you guys remember one of the games in my heyday of just like really loving this stuff was Soul Calibur 2. When not all the characters were unlocked and you had to like play through to really get all the characters.
Tekken 3, I think.
Oh,
for me?
God.
Tekken 4?
You had to beat the game like 30 times or
Yeah.
something to get all the characters.
Yeah.
And, like one of the last characters was like gone on Tekken 3 is the little dragon or dinosaur.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he could spin his little tail.
Didn't you have to do
Fuck
the
that
volleyball
fucker.
thing to get him?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
They,
I like
they
that little-
purposely make you
The
go
little
to these
dragon
different
was
routes.
cool.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
I miss that because that sense of like really that progression stuff like that. Oh, I got a new character now. You know, like that's absent. Now it's like you could buy him for $2.
Yeah, $2.
or
$5-10.
Yeah.
what's it called? Did it too? Dead or Alive did it. Dead or Alive 5, not Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. Did it where you had to play through the story mode and they'd give you certain characters. So
No,
miss
and
that stuff.
I agree. That is a feature that they definitely monetized.
Yeah.
And that's I never really thought about that. They definitely monetized that feature. Like for Twisted Metal too. I loved like going through and like finding like all the codes, like all the codes you have to punch in to unlock Sweet Tooth and Minion and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They're all in the game. You have to find them. There's secret codes throughout the game that you have to do certain things to see. And so you had to explore the game, and through playing the game, you're like, wait, that looks like a L1 up, down, left. What does that do? And then you start trying to figure out where you can punch in that code so that you can see whatever it does. Like I thought that was really fun.
Or just buy PSM and then
Yeah, or go on. You had the option to get
Cheat
the
code
magazines and go online and all that stuff. And
Go to
I
GameFAQs.
think that's something that I miss as well, is the mystery that games offered. To where nowadays, like if you get, I've noticed so many times people get to certain parts in games, like you get the exotics, like you get the option of a bounty for Destiny. You show up the exotic, and you're like, which one should I pick? I don't know. I'll go online and see which weapons these offer me,
Yeah.
and figure out which one I want instead of just picking one and going and figuring it out.
Yeah. One that I really enjoy that it went away because of the Western push that everybody's going with, including Square Enix, specifically Square Enix. Alice is doing a little bit too, where they try to make it more like the Western genre, what people like here, and kind of get away from what they started out doing, is silent protagonists. You don't see that a lot in games today, and I love silent protagonists.
Persona. They're bringing it back, right? Or does he talk? Does he talk?
He's pretty silent. He would be considered silent.
Okay, yeah.
That's one of the few ones that does it. But now they give them like dialogue choices.
Yeah.
So he's silent and it's sort of your voice, but it's still not quite full on silent protagonist like it used to be. Like with Zelda would be one of the very few that's still like purely silent protagonist.
One of my favorite things is when they give them a reason why they're silent.
Yeah, when they put in game, it's like, man, you're easy to talk to.
They do that in Final Fantasy. It's so hilarious. So like, you're just gonna nod, right? I knew it. It's great. I love that.
But it's so cool, and there's something to be said for that, for putting your own voice when you're going on a grand adventure like that.
Yeah.
But now they like it where the main character has his own voice, and I think maybe Final Fantasy VII started ushering that in, and Americans are like, oh, it's so cool.
Well,
and they-
7, yeah, oh yeah. So, well, 6 too. What's her name?
Yeah, I mean,
she
6
talks a lot.
Yeah,
too.
that one's not. There's no
5, no one really talked that much, did they? It was Butts, wasn't it?
Butts.
Is it Butts?
Butts talking?
Butts is in.
This is Bob Saget.
I don't remember if he talks that much. I'm not sure, but
But I miss that quite a bit. Now when I hear every game, I have to look at the protagonist's voice and see if I'm even interested. And you hear some, he looks all buff.
you're oddly picky.
You know what? That actually, I will say, there's a couple games, Tales games,
God.
specifically.
Yeah.
There's a couple Tales games that I'm like, you know what? I love these games, so much fun. But then I think it was Tales of Symphonia was the first one I played that I was like, I love this game. And then that one game I showed you guys,
Tales
it was like Tales of
X
something Abyss, or I don't remember
no,
which
it's not
Tales
Tales
it
of
was.
Abyss. I know Tales of Abyss.
Vesperia or something,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, I think it's something.
It was one of those, and the kid was like, "Ha! Oh man, nobody likes me. I'm pathetic." And then he gets like this demon mode, and he's like, "I'm a badass, and I'm gonna go and take everybody out.
But he's
Nothing's
still
gonna stop me."
He's a dude. He's a badass with no clothes or something like that. Like he's
Yeah.
got like a leotard that like barely.
I'm gonna take him.
Yeah, but like it's just the way the
Bad.
game was. Like, I don't want to play a pansy. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want my lead character to be a pansy. Just make him silent and let me decide if he's a pansy or not, which he'll never be.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. It's at that point you're stuck with what you got.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree in like fully voiced, and I know they're doing it for a lot of like RPGs and that, whatever. But I will say, I could argue. I know you said like you like to input your own thing. Isn't that the same thing as having dialogue choices sometimes?
And that's where it helps.
Yeah.
But even the things that they say in the dialogue choices aren't necessarily what I would say.
Okay.
So I mean, it doesn't. I'm saying it's a good step and it's a good compromise. But it's if I'm going for what I purely miss, it'd be silent protagonist.
Yeah. I think probably you're more acceptable of Knights of the Old Republic, less about like Mass Effect where it's a wheel and they give you an abridged version of what you're saying.
I like Knights of the Republic where it's literally what they write out is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, and I can agree with that because they do that in freaking Inquisition, and there'll be times when I don't want to do something, and they mislead me with that dialogue option.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I didn't want to help him.
Yeah, it's like they'll say like politely refuse. You'll be like, okay, and they'll be like, fuck off.
Right.
It's like-
Oh, sorry. Just gut them, and you're like, oh,
Excuse me?
I didn't. What?
Yeah, because you don't understand the direction they want to take that comment.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I just watched my dad play Game of Thrones Telltale episode 2 or something.
Yeah.
I
really need to get in those.
Yeah, he's getting them
They're
all.
good.
And honestly, the skin in the game, the cell shading, I'm off topic for a second. The cell shading they used for the skin, it looks like they all have the plague. Like there's growths on everybody. It's weird looking.
Freaking William Birkin.
Yeah,
Over here.
it is. It's weird. But we were playing that, and there was options and stuff, and he's playing through, and he's like, the first time I went through, I was nice to everybody, and I was trying to be all smart and noble. Now I'm trying to be a biatch to everybody, and he's just like trying to like picking all the negative things that's gonna make people mad, and then like the outcome is someone's happy with you. He's like, I'm gonna be mean, and he picks the thing that sounds the meanest, and then they're like, oh well, thank you for being honest with me.
It's probably a chick
Right.
who wanted to be.
That's always fun. Well, at least you're honest.
Yeah,
Honor code.
and they're like, I
And I'm
like
evil.
that you. Yeah, I'm trying to be an asshole to you,
Man.
and you're thankful that I'm being honest.
People
I don't
legitimately
understand
want
this world.
positive feedback. That's kind of heartwarming.
Yeah.
All right, we ready for the next topic?
Yes, we are,
Right.
Spencer.
Damn.
Wow.
God, you see how
Spencer
he name
gets to
drops
go
you?
next.
All right, I'm starting it officially. Beginning. Oh,
Now.
all right. So my topic is, in certain games you get multiple playable characters.
Mm-hmm.
What is the favorite character in those games that you don't play?
Okay, so this is any genre though?
It could be any genre.
Yeah, it could be. So fighters.
Okay.
Like, do you love the character, but you're like, God, they suck.
Okay, so I'll start off one Guilty Gear. Okay, Guilty Gear is one of, if you want to look at a game that has a truly diverse group, and this is the biggest reason why they keep bringing back a lot of the same characters, because they're fucking diverse and they're great. I play a Slayer, right? It's fucking the sickest motherfucker. He's a
the vampire,
He's a
yeah.
vampire that can't die. He gets beat up and he doesn't lose. He gets bored fighting you. That's so hardcore, right? But one of the characters I really like in there, or two characters. One is Zato 1, which you guys got to see on that one thing. What are you standing up for? The video clip.
Oh yeah.
The
yeah.
dude in the all black with the shades and stuff.
Mhm.
That's Zatolan. He's possessed by demons. He's a cool character. He's really complicated. But the character I have to say the most is that I like the most is Sin. Sin is a character that's based, or Sin Kisuke is Kai Kisuke's son, but he's a gear, where in that world he's like a superhuman. So he grew up fast. He's like 3 years old, but he has the mentality and all that stuff of more of an adult. He's still childish, but he's the thought process behind him is his special moves make him hungry. So like he gets like really worn out. So he can cancel special moves into special moves. So it's like being able to shoot a Hadoken out of a Hadoken. So you can just flood the screen with Hadokens. But it drains his meter. And when it goes out, he gets like hungry and he's like, oh my gosh. But he like in a comic fashion, he takes out a huge like slab of meat and just eats it and he gets some stuff back. The thing that's cool about him is he's an interesting character with a really good theme. And he's one of the main character's sons, and it's interesting seeing their dynamic because the father's like, he's a king now, and he's like, hey, I love you, and he's like, yeah, you were never there for me, but I love you, you know, like they're trying to build their relationship back up, and it's like 3 years, so it's super awkward, like, you weren't here for 2 weeks, I'm sorry, that's a lifetime, you know, like, it's so weird, but no, he's definitely a cool character.
But you don't play him?
I don't play him, dude, Slayer. How can you not, dude, okay, one of these days, I'm because I don't have the game anymore. I'm gonna get the game back, show you. I'm gonna name the top 3 reasons why he's a fucking badass. And I'm gonna show them to you.
I remember when you used to come over and you would be playing matches online and stuff. You'd come over and I'd sit there and I'd be watching you and you'd be explaining to me all the things about Slayer. And I'm like, I need some more, like, I need to understand the world that's going on here before I understand how badass this guy really is.
Oh, man,
yeah.
so
But I could
cool.
hear it in your voice how much you like that guy.
He was a great guy.
For me, favorite character that I don't play, I was thinking about this, and for me, growing up with RPGs and stuff, there was always that one character where I'm like, God, I hate this guy. Beyond the Beyond, it was Edward. I loved the fact that he was a mage, but and he could cast magic spells on high and stuff. Hated his character. He's like a little kid. Then, then I was like, well, okay, no one's really going to know who that is. So then I thought, well, okay, what's a main character? And the fact that he's leaving right now kind of sucks because one of my favorite characters that I didn't like playing, Knuckles.
Oh, from the Sonic game.
From Sonic. I did not like the flying gameplay in Sonic 3.
Mm-hmm.
I did not like the Sonic Adventure 2 of you searching for crystals.
Oh, fuck that.
There's just all the gameplay things that I've seen Knuckles in, I just don't like. I like his role in the society as like the protector of the crystals.
Emeralds. Even though they're all different colored, they're emeralds.
Yeah.
I loved his role in all of that, and I loved his character design, his design, and all that stuff. But his abilities and the way they've used him, I can't stand it. I just can't play Knuckles.
He flies, but I didn't get it.
I just don't get it. Why does he fly? Why does he fly all the
It's a
time?
fucking echidna. It doesn't make sense. Anyway.
Yeah.
My answer would be Robo from Chrono Trigger.
Really?
Robo from Chrono
Yeah.
Trigger. Yeah.
Okay, you always have Frog on your team, right?
No.
What the fuck's the matter?
I go with a Chrono, Marl, Luca setup.
Ah!
Dude, they're freaking.
It's like having Tiff and Aries on your team, man.
Get them bitches.
Get the other cool
Line 'em up.
characters.
Robo is an awesome character that you find in the future who was built, spoilers, who was built pretty much to kill you.
Mhm.
He's built to eliminate humans, you rebuild him and fix him, and he's like the nicest character in the freaking game.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll, whatever you guys want, I'll go with you and help you out.
Isn't it like in one of the like cutscenes, whatever? He's like, he has a bunch of birds on him or something like that. Is that
Yeah, I think so.
You know what pisses
It's
me off?
when he does the tree stuff.
Akira Toriyama always does that shit.
Oh, does
when
he?
he shows off like robots or people who are peaceful, they always have birds fall on them.
Oh, 'cause
Yeah.
that's the
Dragon
symbol.
Ball Z.
Yeah, it's
Symbol
fucking
of peace.
16.
Yeah.
God damn.
But yeah,
Oh, that's true.
He is
Yeah.
the most generous character maybe in any game I've ever played, where he would sit in the forest for, I think it was 400 years. He sat in a forest and all he did for 400 years was till it and make sure that trees would grow, because you told him to. And then you get to him 400 years later. You're like, hey, thanks a lot. Come back. We got to fight Lavos.
I am here.
Wow.
He's like, okay.
But what about
And
my
then he goes
battery?
on later into Chrono Cross and does a whole bunch of shit. He's a super important character.
He's in Chrono Cross?
Mhm.
Where?
His name is Prometheus. He's actually in it. He's the circuit that gets you into the anyway. That game is very complicated. But I think he's just a fantastic character. Gameplay wise, like I like people that do a whole lot of magic stuff, and he did like weird, dark,
So no Magus?
like laser type of magic.
Oh, laser, yeah.
Magus doesn't? He's cool.
But I play as him.
Oh, you put... but
I'll experiment with certain characters.
Okay.
Robo's just one I never
touch, but
too
still
much.
respect.
Yeah, but he's very fantastic.
That's fine. Makes sense. Shit. I've been making a note to do this in the Old Republic, or not the Old Republic, where I put different teams together. So I have Jolie and freaking Juani, or whatever, even though I fucking hate her.
Yeah.
She's just a pain in the ass.
She's the one that was like dark at first.
Yeah, and
then
you can turn dark. You could totally turn her dark and kill her.
Yeah.
But, no, I was like, I'm being a nice guy.
Hey, what's up, Special Agent Cooper?
No, it's just Daniel.
Never mind.
Anyway.
Oh!
What?
He's the one that I sang the song for a long
Yes,
time
he
ago.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so fast forward, another BioWare. Well, whatever. Anyway, Dragon Age Inquisition had a lot of really well-written characters. I really love all the characters. One character that I love the most, that I don't use, Iron Bull. Iron Bull is voiced by Freddie Prinze Jr., and he's the dude with the eye patch, and he's the
Yeah.
Qunari.
Yeah.
And he's such a funny character. He's great. Okay, so he's essentially, I think he's bi-curious. So if you're male or female, you can romance him. When you're fighting, he will like bring that shit up. He'll be like, "Oh, I took a pounding last time." And you're like, "What?" And then if you get, oh shit, you know what? He's good, but first actually isn't him. First is the guy I can't remember. He's the wizard. Shit.
Old man.
No.
Old Man River.
Old man.
Go to yours. I'll come back.
All right. For me,
Shit.
another character that I never played that was always on the back of my mind that I really liked would have to say going into Shining Force. I don't know who's going to know this guy.
No, go for it.
Gort.
Gort.
He was a secret character that you could get. He was a dwarf that mirrored Luke, who was like one of the very first basic soldiers you get.
Yeah.
Luke was a sword guy. Gort was a axe dude.
Mm-hmm.
And I was ageist when I was younger.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hang out with old people. And Gort was like white bearded and
Fucking
old
bitch.
and like grumpy, and you find him in a bar and I'm like, I don't want this guy in my party. But you get him in the beginning and I'm like, I'll use him as cannon fodder to distract people. So I would always send him off to go die all the time until I got enough people to replace him. But
That's fucked up.
Well, in a tactics game, you got to be tactical.
Yep.
You got to think about who you're going to
old
toss.
people are just cannon fodder.
His
He's
Dorian is his name.
Oh, I remember.
He's
Yeah.
the wizard who like. Okay, so you know how BioWare is. They like to be like progressive and stuff like that. So he's gay, and his quest line is like his family going. Like getting used to him being gay, even though he's a wizard. He's supposed to be like marrying a woman with good genes and stuff like that, and producing another offspring. But he is seriously, Iron Bull is a very close second. He takes the cake. Dorian's fucking hilarious. I have not played a game where I haven't had him on my team the whole time. He's such a good guy. He's great to have around. He has good abilities too. He's a necromancer. But yeah, dude, like some of the dialogue that he says, if you're a guy or if you're a girl, you don't romance him, whatever, he ends up dating Iron Bull. And they
Really?
talk very extensively.
Iron Bull looks like he would be a power bottom.
Oh, dude.
I need an Urban Dictionary.
He is, oh man. You're going to learn.
You gotta learn today.
Yeah. But
Shy
anyway.
Guy would be an excellent choice.
But
Yeah,
Mario Kart.
Stepsy brought up Mario Kart. He said Shy Guy, but the question is, was Shy Guy one of your favorites?
Well, maybe he really likes Shy Guy. He just, Mario Kart, not your day, Shy Guy.
Yeah, that's just the extra thing, because he's asking if it was a good choice for this question. So you pick a favorite character that you love who the guy is, but he just sucked in that game. You didn't want to touch him.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Good.
I'm thinking Amaranth. I think from Final Fantasy IX. Am I close to the name on that? He had the big red hair. He was like a huge.
Oh, but he was the savage.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot he was in the game.
Yeah. He's
I never
cool.
used him,
He's
yeah.
a really cool character.
Interesting concept too.
But
yeah.
and he's just hunting shit, and then he kind of does everything by himself and learns that he needs to work together and be friends and everything.
Oh
but,
my gosh.
I don't know. Just never really got to playing with him.
That sucks.
Maybe because he was such a lone wolf, and I had my party, and I'm learning to love these guys, and we're teaching him, and then suddenly he's joining the party, and we're like, well, we're already friends, so you go away.
You could fuck off.
Yeah.
Agrius Oaks from Final Fantasy Tactics. You get her partway through the main story. She's a great character. That's all I gotta say. She's holy sword and all that stuff. The first battle you're in, she shows off all her special abilities. You're like, damn, I want that. And then halfway through, you're like a ninja that's teleporting. Yeah. You're like, it's cool, but look what I got. But
Pretty much across the board for me, if it wasn't humanoid, well, not even just humanoid, it had to be humanoid for me to want to put it into my party, and it couldn't be a cat or a Moogle or a lizard or I had such a hard time when it was, what is that, anthropomorphic.
Anthropomorphic.
Yeah.
Anything like that, I had a hard time because it had to be a cool animal. The only exception to that was Slade from Shining Force 2. He was a rat, and he was a thief that later turned into a ninja. And a ninja
progression.
He was a Splinter.
Well, I really want a girl on my team, at least one.
Yeah.
You want to get that 16-bit jiggle physics?
I did. I searched for it, and unfortunately, that's one of my big problems with Final Fantasy 15 is I'm having a difficult time.
Didn't they say they were adding them?
We'll see.
No, they're not adding them. It's the story.
They
about
specifically
4 guys.
stated that they wanted it to have an all-guy cast because it was easier to tell a story of a certain perspective that way.
I could have sworn I saw something about it.
It was probably them being realistic versions of Final Fantasy. It's all girl.
Yeah.
Deal with that.
Kind of is.
If it's all guys, fuck them.
Cool. Are we
Because
good with that?
they were talking about how the guys would interact differently depending on if there was a girl there because they were going to want to show off for her.
So a girl not in the party,
Yeah.
outside of it.
never
They
any-
specifically said they wanted it to be an all-male cast because they wanted that feeling to be that way of guys traveling around the world.
bromance. Yeah. It's essentially a road trip.
Yeah, I'll have to read the stuff after it. I'm seeing articles posted from March, April, May. So, the last couple months.
All right.
Question Trace.
Eric Boberic.
Hold on, I don't speak Spanish. What does Trace mean?
What?
Uno.
It's German. Shut up.
Ichi-san.
Dos.
So, my question would be, do you believe that video games are too linear these days?
Burrito.
Do I think
Oh,
do I
God,
think
want a
they're
burrito.
do I think they're linear or do I think they are do I think they're too linear or do I think too many games are linear?
Are too many games linear in this day and age?
Actually, I would say, you would say that, but I'd say no. And one of the biggest examples for that is, and I'm not going to use Destiny, I'm going to use Far Cry, which I think is the pinnacle of a complete first-person free roam game. What?
Steps is having a weird crisis of conscience.
Oh, gotcha. Or some people are messy. But anyway, Far Cry. There's a whole world of options. Granted, there is a story that plays out. There's a sort of quest line that you have to follow. But it's based on how expansive it is. Every game is linear when you break it down. There's a beginning and an end. It's how you get there. Look at KOTOR. Would you call KOTOR linear?
Yeah.
From a specific standpoint, right?
We gotta
There's standpoint.
define what linear is then. And to me, linear is, can I go backwards? So if it's pushing me forward, can I then go backwards and go explore something?
I consider linear the element of choice within a game.
So
Just-
it's
is
a
it-
continuing path going forward, but there's branch offs and options going.
Yeah, and some ways can get you faster, some ways can get you shorter, or something like that. Like
Okay.
in Knights of the Old Republic, you always have to visit 3 planets. Major story happens, major plot element happens. You visit the last planet that you're supposed to visit, and then you visit the last planet in the game. Bam. It's always going to happen that way. But you get to choose which planets you go to. Same thing with Dragon Age. You can explore all these different areas, right? Because there's some beautiful areas in that game. Or you can go, you know what? I just want to stick to the main story in these 2 areas of the world, and I'll do the desert land because that looks cool to me. Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
As far as linearity or whatever goes, I don't think it's there. I think there's the illusion of choice a lot of times. Like if you look at Tomb Raider, yeah, sure, you can explore a little bit, but at the end of the day, you're going on a straight path.
Yeah,
but it doesn't make
Final
it a bad
Fantasy. To make a point here, Final Fantasy 13 is the biggest
Guilty.
criminal of
Yeah.
this. Like they are the most guilty of this because there's
a terrible game.
You'd come up to a fork in the road, you'd travel for maybe 10 seconds, and then you'd find out you're on the main path again.
Yeah,
like that was the biggest criminal in this aspect. So
Final Fantasy X had some similar elements to that.
it did. It really did. But the thing is though, is why are we getting on them? Because they're RPGs. Role-playing games are defined as being multiple choice. By having this level of just a linear path, you're kind of defeating your own genre, I feel.
Story-wise, I would love a linear story.
Really?
I really don't like having a huge...
It's safer that way.
Yeah, it's safer. You can tell a good story. You can introduce better themes that way.
and you could speed run it better.
You can speed run it a lot better. Hell of a lot better. Not those dingy old side quests trying to... Hey, we made some extra content. It's like, no. Get
I'm just
away.
trying to save areas.
It's the fastest way to A to B.
Yeah.
But no, I definitely think that as an RPG from a story perspective, I want linearity. I do not want a whole bunch of like confusion. That's where Western games come in, and why I couldn't really get into Elder Scrolls or any of those games. Because
you didn't get into Skyrim.
You let me off. You put me. Skyrim was actually all right. I played that for a little bit.
Uh-huh.
It was Oblivion was the one on the 360, like
Yeah.
early 360,
Yeah.
launch game almost.
Yeah.
I played that one, and as soon as they let me off, like out of the, I think it's a prison you start off in or something like that.
Yeah, you do.
As soon as they let you off, and then it just goes like, all right,
Deal.
go for it. I put the controller down. I'm like, okay, well, I beat the first mission. I'm done.
Yeah.
And just walked away. I like when I'm in an RPG to have like a continuous story that's driving me forward, telling me where to go, and I can go do that, and just make those moments memorable. Like, I know that they like to have every moment be memorable, and you can do, you can have a cool situation over here. That's fine.
Yeah.
But just tell me where to go, and then I can, enjoy that for what it is. That's just how I like gaming.
Yeah.
So as far as the actual environment being linear, do not make it linear.
No.
Make it very broad, like RPGs tend to do. Like
Yeah.
a big open world, and here's where you got to go. Okay, I need to go to X town, but maybe I want to farm for a while.
good.
Maybe I want to do a side quest. Okay, let there be side quests. Just stay out of my way if I don't want to do it.
Yeah. And a good one, an example of linear gameplay is Call of Duty's campaign mode. I can't say that with
What are
a
you
straight
talking about?
face.
You have choices. In there. God.
Do you shoot his left shoulder or his right shoulder?
How does it read?
Even then, like, do you remember Call of Duty Modern Warfare? Is Call of Duty 4 or Call of Duty Modern
It was Call of Duty 3 Modern Warfare, I believe.
Okay, where the guy was like, he had the gun hanged up, and you had to like, you're sitting there with the sniper rifle, and you're aiming down.
Oh, on all gillied up. It's a great mission.
Yeah, that one. So no matter where you shoot, you get the hand. Did
Yeah,
you test
or
that?
The arm. Yeah, I did.
Did you test that?
I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if I just fuck it up. No. It
Nope.
doesn't fucking
The
matter.
wind swung that bullet back in. You're just
Hey.
doing wanted. You're all.
With a 50 cal, mind you.
Angelina Jolie just comes and chokes on a bullet.
I think, but the thing about it is, yeah, we're talking like bad about linearity. I think it plays properly when done right. Like Spencer
Yeah.
said, a linear story is a safe story. Everyone gets the same experience. That's
Yeah.
why, like, some people, like, KOTOR is debatable, for instance. I know I'm using it a lot. I'm playing it. But if you're playing as a bad guy the whole time, you miss out on shit. The narrative doesn't always match up entirely if you're playing a bad guy. That's why in, like, Mass Effect, you're no longer playing a bad guy. You're just playing a guy with an attitude. Vice playing a fucking a beacon of hope. Yeah, it's always nice.
Your choices just didn't matter
But
in that game.
Maybe that's what it's trying to say.
Oh, shut up.
But they do that. They have that. You know, it's funny. They have that in Battlefield 4, its campaign, and certain people can die, and you continue the campaign without them. So it's kind of interesting. But story you want to be linear. The environment, even the gameplay, I think most games nowadays are branching out from that. The Ghost Recon thing we just saw, the Hitman game that we saw, like how they're switching it up. They want it to be more diverse. Dude, look at freaking Uncharted. Look how many different. When we saw that the video at E3 of him going through all those different houses, how many different ways could he have gone? He's going to the same area.
Yeah.
But it's the concept of choice, the element of choice within it.
And I go kind of my last thoughts on this thing. You guys probably have more to say, maybe. Anyways, my thoughts on choice is that how you were saying choice needs to matter, like that. Well, you need to make the events more meaningful. On the other token of that, when they make your choices not matter,
or save them all. That's what I did. Anyway, keep going.
When your choices don't matter at all, that's another thing that's defeating as well.
Mass Effect.
Yeah, like when no matter what you do, who you piss off, you still get
So
like,
pissed off.
it's just belittling the player at that point.
Yeah.
And I think there's definitely people who have executed that plan well, of how to make player choice matter, and they make you involved. Being able to find secret events in games and stuff like that, that makes your choice matter because you found a secret part of the game or a side part of it that brings you into it. Like when you find secret characters in Legends of Dragoon, when you find Kongal, he's not meant, you don't have to have Kongal in your party. Or, I don't believe you have to. Or no, you don't have to have his Dragoon spirit to beat the game. It's completely optional to grab that.
Chrono Cross, half the fucking cast.
Yeah.
You don't need.
Yeah. So like it changes up how you play it based on your decisions. But if it doesn't change anything, that's when I think linearity.
Linearity.
Can't say that word. David. When that kind of stuff happens, when they make it a linear experience and nothing you do is going to change this roller coaster ride, that's when I have a problem with it.
Anything else?
No, that's pretty much it.
All I'm gonna say is it's a double-edged sword. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't want Devil May Cry to be free roam. It just doesn't work.
Definitely impacted by genre.
But at the same time, I don't want to be on a rail on an RPG because it's all about adventure.
I think Final Fantasy 13 as well, going back to that, another reason why it hurt so bad was because even the combat you didn't control. All you did was just say, yes, I want this game to play.
Yeah.
Where's the popcorn? I'm going to go make some popcorn.
Oh, I thought you meant for real.
No, I could go for some right now.
Okay,
I could go
streaming. But
I could probably go for some extra. I'm hungry.
Okay.
Popcorn doesn't actually help you with that. I've tried it.
I'll chew on your face.
So anyway.
Take them bath salts.
That's episode 7.
Yes. Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you for joining us. And I'll go get the honey.
Excellent.
For
Rub
my
it on my balls.
All right.
Hey, thanks for watching. Be sure to give this video a like and comment below. We do videos including quizzes every Tuesday and a podcast every Friday. Check us out on twitch.tv/thisistheitch and theitchnetwork.com, where you can check out links to our podcast and our friends at Does This Game Suck? If you have any questions or topics for us, email us at theshow@theitchnetwork.com. And don't forget, we do new videos every week.